Good afternoon to all my dear students of the Department of Environmental Science, MSc second semester students. First of all, I would like to thank Community College, DM College of Science, which is under Dhananjali University, for giving me a privilege to give online classes during the lockdown period due to COVID-19 pandemic, which is one of the medium to keep in touch with the students. So the topic which I am going to deal today is a noise pollution, which is a part of the syllabus of environmental science, which will be benefited both PG students as well as the students of undergraduates. What is sound? Sound may be defined as the pressure in air, water, or any medium that a human ear can detect. So sound which causes pain and annoyance is simply called noise. So sometimes what is music for someone can be a noise for others. So it is one of the most effective tools for communication. So it becomes discordant and displeasing to the ear when produced in irregular succession or disturbance. This is when sound becomes noise. So for example, you can just find a classical example is an industrial noise which has been generated in various factories, like automobile noise and a domestic appliance noise and a public address system, which we generally encounter during the festive season. So today we are witnessing a strong race for industrial supremacy based on the production of the modern equipments and tools and utilization of energy. So in the recent years, noise pollution has emerged a national problem, as excessive noise can cause psychological problem, tension-related disease, mental illness, and emotional distress. But you see, in the past, we never considered that noise is a pollution. But in a very recent studies, it has very detrimental effect on human beings. So human population explosion, rapid industrialization, unplanned urbanization, human population, rapid industrialization, urbanization, scientific and technological advancement has caused a serious environmental pollution on Earth. So one of the threats posed to us, to human beings, during the last few decades is the problem of noise. A better definition of noise is wrong sound in the wrong place at the wrong time. So no doubt, noise is a normal phenomenon of life and is deemed to be one of the most effective alarm system in a man's physical environment. So that the word noise is derived from the Latin word called nausea, which has a meaning of feeling of sickness at the stomach with an urge to vomit, which have a tendency of vomiting. So human ear is very sensitive to an extremely wide range of sound pressure from 0 to 140 decibels. So the other parameter, in addition to the sound pressure level, is required to characterize a noise is the frequency, which may be defined as a number of vibration per second. So human ear is a response to sounds with a frequency ranging from 20 to 20,000 hertz. So the range of variation below 20 hertz is called infrasonic, and those above 20,000 hertz are ultrasonic. So sound may be different as a form of wave motion due to the pressure alteration or particle displacement in an elastic medium. So subjectively, sound is nothing but a sensory experience in the brain. So the noise can be differentiated into three types. One is steady state of noise, fluctuating noise, and impulsive noise. So steady state of noise is a noise whose quality and intensity practically constant, which means that varying less than the plus 5 decibels over an appreciable period of time, which means that it moves very in a steady manner, in a constant manner. So next type of noise is a fluctuating noise. So whose intensity rise and falls more than 5 decibels. So it moves ups and down not in a constant manner, rather it fluctuates up and down, which means it's not constant. Another type, the third type of noise is an impulsive type of noise. The impulsive must be less than 500 millisecond. That means in a fraction of like 0.5 second duration and have a magnitude of at least 40 decibels within that time. So a single impulse may be heard as a discordant occurring in otherwise quiet condition, or may be superimposed upon a background of steady state or fluctuating noise. One good example, one classical example for impulsive noise is a gunshot. So it moves in a fraction of seconds. Okay. So now let us see that we have already seen that what is sound. So to characterize what sound is, that sound is a form of energy that travels through air in waves by alternate compression and rarefaction of the elastic medium. So sound waves are therefore a series of pressure variation that radiates from the source of spherical cells. At each wave, first is a compression and then rarefaction and then encounters an object. So this is why sound waves can break a glass or cause a window screen or to vibrate. One, say like when you just throw a pebbles inside a pond or a well, it forms in the form of ripples. So it moves in such a manner, and finally it encounters an object. That's why the sounds can easily break or window screen or vibrates. Decibel is the unit for sound or a noise. So by definition, the decibel is a dimensionless unit to express the logarithm of the ratio of the measured quantity to a reference quantity. So the human ear responds non-linearly to acoustic stimuli but tends to respond logarithmically. So the decibel scale is generally used to measure noise levels. So it can mathematically we can define say decibel as 10 log to the base 10 by P naught by PR, where P naught is the output power and PR is a reference value. So decibels are not linear like miles or pounds. Say, let us see that while 10 decibel is nothing but the 10 times greater than 1 dB decibels. So 20 dB is 100 times greater than, so it's like 10 into 10. So 30 is similarly 1000 times. So because decibel is logarithmic unit, they cannot be added or subtracted arithmetically. So in these slides, we'll see that there are different sources of noise, okay, and it has also an effect, and thus generally source are different. So from different source, we'll say gunshot, jet plane takeoff, firecrackers exploding. So the human ear thresholds, it's about like 140 decibels. And similarly, the rock music, which are amplified, the thunder, jackhammers, is a very uncomfortably loud, and its range in it's at a level of 120 decibels. Power lawn mover, tractor, motorcycle, which are extremely loud, it has 100 decibels. Air conditioners, crowded restaurant, which are moderately loud, and its range in the 80 decibels. Singing birds, normal conversation, which are termed as a quiet status, and it has a 60 decibels. Similarly, the results of leaves, light rainfalls are very quiet, and it has at 40 decibels. Whisper, just audible, is 10 decibels. Even a normal breathing, it's also 10 decibels. So these are the studies which have been carried out by the researchers, and it was a range on that. Say for the noise. So how do we measure it? What is sound level meter? It's a tool, it's an instrument which can measure the sound or sound level. So similarly, when you are not well, when you cannot hear properly, so generally we go to the hospital to check our hearing capacity. So in that case, that the doctors which they use that instrument to see your sensitivity and or your hearing capacity, that instrument is audiometer, not the sound level meter. This is a sound level is little bit different from the audiometer. Okay, say the basic, say the sound level meter is an instrument to record the noise levels. So the basic parts of the sound level meter includes microphone, amplifier, weighting networks, and the display meters in decibels. So here is a flow chart which you see from which you can see from this these slides, that which are the sound which is generated from a source is received by the microphone. At the microphone, the sound wave energy is converted into electrical signal that is boosted in a magnitude at the preamplifier. The meaning of amplifier is nothing but to amplify, to give larger in a very simple way. So the electrical signal may be modified by a weighting network, followed by a further boosting in the amplifier, which is seen from the flow chart. After the amplifier, then from the output jack, and you see the rectifier. The function of the rectifier converts signals from alternating current to the direct current to cause the needle of the display meter to register the sound pressure level directly in the decibel form. So the needle motion is controlled by the fast response or a slow response setting. So that latter provides more damping to the needle motion and is normally desirable when the sound fluctuates appreciably. So what is exactly the weighting network? It's actually, you see, the frequency weighting here, you can see that from the line, the frequency weightings used in the sound level meter are often related to the response of the human ear to ensure that the meter is measuring pretty much what you actually hear. So the weighting network is made in the sound level is there in the inbuilt to hear it as like what our ear is hearing. So is a hearing it's built in the human hearing mechanisms similar to that kind of visions. So there are different microphones, 3 types there in the inbuilt. So as I have already mentioned, that is being built in the similar fashion as a human hearing mechanism. There are 3 types. One is A type and B type and C type. A weighted sound level is a decibel quantity read from the standard sound level meter using a frequency weighting network level A. It's named as A. So this networks weighs the various frequency component in a manner approximating the sensitivity of the human ear at a low sound level. So thus it gives a particular emphasis to sounds in the range about 800 to 3000 hertz. So the decibel A value obtained in this way correlates reasonably well with the relative subjective measures of the noisiness or annoyance for many common sounds. So selection of the appropriate frequency weighting network is dependent upon the type of measurement being made. So you can see, so as I've told you that there are 3 types, A, B, C weighting network. Weighting network A, that means human response for a low sound level. B is moderate, C for the high levels. So as you know, as I have already mentioned with regards to the rectifier, let's go to the next slides. So how do we go forward? There are certain procedures or recommended measurement procedures, protocols are there, but which need to be used while recording the sound level or a noise level. So practically, sound level meter should be mounted in the tripod, which should be about 1.5 above the ground level feet, about 0.5 meter away from the nearest edge. Sound level measurement are made at a place at the time of their occurrence should be extracted from the measurement made nearly. So it's not very required. So for outdoor measurements, when we want to record the noise, we need to place the sound level meter at 1.5 meter above the ground level, and practically at least 3.5 away from the buildings, from reflecting surface such as building. Okay, so it's a very simple instrument. It's like a walkie-talkie only, and it's not very hard to understand to record it. It's similar to that walkie-talkie. And see, that is for the outdoors. For the indoors, we need to close the windows, and similarly 1.5 above the need to mount the instrument 1.5 meter above the floor and at least 1.5 meter away from the walls.